Tyler Michael,
Yes.
Civil Engineering and Army.
And get in your line, SZ.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
So what we need you to do is sign a promissory note.
Have you had any calculus or pre-calculus?
Do you have any other questions?
Sounds like you have a pretty good shot at it. Well, there's no way to tell, but you've got the potential. Let's put it that way.
Hi, what's your name?
So everything that we do here is kind of prepares you for advancing in leadership and responsibility as we go along.
You have chosen the road less traveled by, and it will make all the difference. You will find strength that you did not know you possessed. You will find sources of support you didn't know exist. And over the years...
Good luck, gentlemen. It's a pleasure to welcome you back to VMI. Probably the most important and most famous part of the Institute is the scene that is so familiar to all of you. Right over my shoulder, you see Stonewall Jackson's famous declaration, "You may be whatever you resolve to be." We still believe that here. Resolution is the essence of character. VMI is a laboratory for the building of character.
You now, as rats, have accepted the challenge of becoming a VMI man. You will now be faced with the demand of what it takes to become a VMI man. Many of you will not make it, but those who do will become part of the brethren, be indoctrinated into the VMI experience.
I think the fundamental challenge at VMI right now is a challenge which is more temperamental than moral or intellectual. This is a glittering, glorious, much-loved, wonderful institution. And a great deal of my role the first couple of years that I am here will consist of reminding alumni and cadets of that fact.
All right, slow down.
Try to follow your lane, Lane 2.
VMI flings a whole bucket full of different kinds of challenges at you. It's not enough to be a scholar. It's not enough to be an athlete. It's not enough to be a leader. You really are told that you have to do all these things. You have to do your very best to satisfy all of these competing requirements at all times.
John, right here, got to shave my head. This year John became a rat and had to shave his head. Payback's your hell.
I always see in VMI cadets' faces, and I probably see 100 of them a day close up, a puckishness. I love that. And that's the great thing about VMI. And to me, it distinguishes the Institute from West Point. But everything there is quite cold. It's quite mechanical, quite perfunctory. There's not a lot of humor. VMI, there's still room for humor, for puckishness, for good times. And I think that's important.
The society that you have left behind tolerates a wide variety of behavior. Each one of you may have a different concept of honor. Regardless of your background, you'll be expected to adhere to this code.
I know the honor system here has been under stress. I'm not trying to use Orwellian language, but I wasn't here last year. I don't exactly know who the players were, who was thrown out, who cheated, who tolerated, but I've heard the same kind of promiscuous gossip that you have. I know that we can get rid of it.
As a VMI man, you must report any infraction of the honor code to either the president or the prosecutors. Failure to do so is an honor violation in itself, and it will subject you to prosecution by the Honor Court.
VMI is a place of contrasts. Alumni will remember the scene behind me with its familiar rituals. They date from an earlier century. But there's no reason why these contrasts cannot continue to exist, why we cannot have our barracks life with its familiar rituals, its military regimen, with at the same time a first-class academic program aiming at preparing people for productive professional lives in the 21st century. You can have both, and from our point of view, you need both.
El hombre de negocios. El médico. I. I is a great word. I, remember your H is silent, A is an A, Y goes with E. I. I just means there is or there are in the sense of there exist. Hay papeles en la mesa. There are papers on the table. Hay una gorra en la mesa. There is a hat on the table. See.
You all should have a copy of the laboratory syllabus in front of you. There's 3 pages. The last page is my office hours.
I think it is the particular mission of the good undergraduate college like VMI to give students full access to teachers and vice versa. In my talk to the Corps, I said I want faculty to be heroes. A professor in a small college must try to exemplify the virtues of what he professes.
Entry number 1, set up for this one. All we have to do is hit slew speed, hit that, telescope starts moving.
I'm not talking about VMI becoming a new right college or anything like that, but I am saying that the same zest has to be on full and constant and abundant display in front of cadets in the classroom.
You come up off the ground and you can fly! Woo!
I spent 10 years at a Division III college. VMI is too much for them athletically. There's just no question about it. It would not be a reasonable mixing.
Take them up top.
Yes, it would be in lacrosse, in swimming, and wrestling, and tennis, sports like that. But in the 2 major famous VMI sports, football and basketball, a relationship at the Division III level, as the English say, it is not on. I think we're at the upper level of the financial resources that ought be paid to the great god of athletics. I think we're bumping up against the ceiling. I think we can stay at this level provided one thing happens, namely that we are able to affiliate ourselves with other colleges, smaller Division I colleges of similar academic pretension and constraint. I've been here about 2 or 3 days this August. I met this boy, Bart Bellairs, who's the basketball coach. He's a wonderful young man. He loves the school. The kids love him. We were talking about basketball. He said, what they get up there, God, it helps me so much on the basketball court. It was an inversion of what people normally say. They usually say, well, they're so tired when they get down here they can't play or something like that. He, in other words, saw whatever success they were having as basketball players largely as a function of the fact that they were being provoked, trained, educated, whatever, as cadets. And that delighted me in hearing that. There is something there inside of us that demands and responds to the kinds of challenges that we have at VMI, which places that exalt academic success only simply cannot touch.
Detail. Pull.
What I would like to do is to cover the class homework.
There comes a time when you have to make certain serious decisions, and all the laughter and all of the hoopla is put aside. We have to find the 17-year-old high school senior boy who was apt for that. Young people are forever surprising in themselves a need for something that is not offered by the ordinary culture of undergraduate life in most colleges. VMI offers a multiplicity of challenges in ways that are other than intellectual. And I'm banking on the fact that there is a sufficiency of very bright people who also want those other kinds of challenges. And I think you basically sell it to them on those terms. It's fitting that we conclude this brief look at VMI with a look at a cadet room in barracks. At VMI, the culture of barracks, barracks life, the honor system, the cadet regiment, the interlocking class systems, these are the kinds of things that support what happens in the classroom. VMI, perhaps more than any college in the United States, can point to a direct connection between what happens in the barracks, what happens in the classroom, and what you become as alumni. This is why alumni are so proud of the Institute and why we are so proud of you. I think that VMI, by the same token, is unchanging in all of its essentials. The honor system, the military regimen, the values that distinguish us as moral beings and the way we teach them, these things do not change.
You will move like lightning.
We will make academic changes to address the academic and professional requirements of new generations of people. We will make certain changes to accommodate the needs of different generations, but these are not changes that have anything to do with the basic elemental aspects of VMI. Given my own tastes, which are those of a kind of progressive traditionalist, all of the symbolic and detailed things that alumni love, if anything, will grow stronger.
I learned also the problem of management.
I love all that stuff. I mean, the last note of the bugle and parades and marching. We've just brought back snare drums for marching to meals. It's a silly small thing, but those things are not threatened. They are not in danger. You have a warm, warm welcome at VMI. We hope you will come back to us often. Thanks very much.